So in this lesson, we're going to make some updates to our actual code, and we're going to update the styling as well as maybe the image source here. So this one is identified as my image. So first thing that we want to do is we want to select that particular item, and we're not going to set it up as a variable. We're just going to simply do a document get element by ID and then identify that element. So that one is just called my image, and we can get that source information that's available for the image. So we can actually access the attribute, because the attribute as well is an object that's contained within the my image. So just to illustrate this better, maybe what we need to do is console log out that information and take a closer look at what's available for us to access. So when I refresh this, and I'm using lorem pixel here, so it's giving me some random images, so actually I have no control over the images that are being shown there. So just going back into the object here, so the my image object element contains all of this information, and because it's an image, we also have src. So this is the source of that particular object. So in order to output that, I could simply do like console log there, and we can take a look at the source file by itself. So this will simply list out that source file. And just like we did with the HTML, we actually have the ability to make an update on it. So instead of listing it out, if I wanted to set a new value there, all I'd have to do is do the equal sign and set the value. So I'm going to just set another lorem pixel and lorempixel.com, and this is another long one here. So we're just do 100 by 100 and go back to our web page, close that up and reload it. So essentially what's going to happen here, it's going to load the image 400 by 200, and then it's going to hit the JavaScript, and the JavaScript is actually going to rewrite the source of that image. So I click it, and if I go to inspect, and if we look at the source code of the image, we see that now it's been rewritten. So it's actually lorem pixel 100 by 100 instead of being that initial size of 400 by 200. So besides all of this, we can adjust our styling. So as I said before, when we look at this new button, maybe we don't like this teal color, or aqua color, and I want to adjust that. So in order to do that, I need to set and access that ID again. So I'm going to simply copy it out here, and again, looking into what we have available to us, so we can do style. And this is essentially going to return back all that object information about style. So if I want to be really specific here, we'll just show you what shows up here within the console here. So I'm going to console log out that button information there and CSS declaration. So we have access to all of this styling information. And loading the stuff into console really gives you a good idea and an overview of what's available to you. So we have literally over 100 different possibilities here that we can apply styling to. So one of the most common ones maybe is like a background color. So we've already have a background color for it. So when we go in our background color, we see that background color. So we don't have anything set there, but we can always set that background color. So all we have to do is do style, and then we do background color. So let's update this background color and we'll see what happens. So we'll do style and background. So this one is background color, and now we need to assign a color value, and I'm just going to do a default maybe of red or something like that. So let's see what happens when we refresh it. We see that we changed the background color, and now when I go into here, I can see that I've got assigned background color of red. So this is assigned into the DOM, and the DOM understands that now this background color is red, and we've updated that via JavaScript. And really, literally, the possibilities are endless. Just like with CSS, you can access any one of these properties and make updates to it. So here we've got our default here, so CSS text, background color red. So this would be overriding that current text that's available within there. And we see we've got a lot of options. So in the next lesson, we're going to introduce some interactivity. So we've got these elements here, they look like buttons, but they don't do anything when you click them. So in the next lesson, we're going to take care of that, and we're going to start adding that interactive component that's available within the DOM, and it's going to give us the ability to make these actually buttons instead of just elements that are representing buttons. So that's coming up in the next lesson.